Alright, first Seward of the year. We had a good turnout, a lot of teammates. And already at the start of this race, we were all pretty cold, so going down this hill did not help. Yep, still cold. Did you see that? Yep, that's a stroller on the race course. So as I come up to the midpoint of the climb, I realize I'm not in a good spot for that hairpin. Still early in the season, still coming back from my collarbone break. I don't really want to go 4 wide to this corner, first race of the year. Everyone's usually, I don't know, a little more nervous. So I move up around the left to get to the front of the race where it's going to be actually a little bit easier, maybe 1 or 2 wide. Alright, as I come down the descent, I've got a fair bit more speed than the people in front of me, so I move around the outside to go to the front of the race. But as I get there, I realize that they're slowing down too, and I don't really want to get swarmed by the pack, so I decide to initiate that swarm, go on the attack. And I'm also doing this because I'm still cold from the start of the race, so I figure I'll just do a little bit of an effort, get my body temperature up. Alright, and here I see I have not been caught as we finish this climb, and then I realize that they are leaving me out there on purpose. So I make sure I slow down enough so that way I get caught on my own terms and not surprised. Okay, at this point in the race, I'm not too happy with my position. I'm a little too far back. This area of the field is pretty congested, and that way whenever I go through that hairpin, there's a lot of traffic I gotta maneuver around. So, at the end of this descent again, I try to move up to get towards the front of the field where it's a little bit smoother. But I realize that the front of the field slowed up and I have to turn this into another attack. So just like last time, I know I'm not going to be able to stay away for the whole race, so I make sure I stay well below my limit. Again, the idea is to make other people work hard to catch me. And then I see we got ACT and Fount, and this is a good chance to form a break that can get away. Alright, JD's making sure that I get some rest, and he comes over on the right side. Alright, this is perfect, and he's doing exactly what I just did. He launches an attack right when the rest of the field is slow. He's out front by himself, and I'm hoping he's not working too hard, but that way he's forcing other people to chase him back. And we got a pretty big team where we could just keep doing this maneuver the whole race. Alright, Preems at Seward are pretty competitive. I know I have some strong people behind me who are going to be going for them. The last thing I want to do is help them get up to speed. So during this ascent, probably grabbing a little bit of brake, and you'll see I don't surge forward at the bottom. I do move out to the left to make it look like I'm going to, but right then I slow down, start talking to Ryder, ask if he wants to go for the preem, and that prevents people from building up speed on the descent and launching into an attack. But I misjudge the lead out, and we get swarmed on the right side, and we kind of get boxed in. We can't really move around anymore. Alright, and I'm doing my classic maneuver to move up on the field, which is passing on the right side at the bottom of the descent. But as usual, other people will figure this out, and they start doing the same thing, which means that there's no room to actually pass. So I gotta go to my next best option, which is trying to move up on the climb. So again, the left side actually has much better pavement, smoother, and the right side's broken up. There's some potholes and gravel, so it's less popular. Trick is just to stay in your saddle during this portion, because the gravel's so loose that if you're out of the saddle, it's really easy to bounce the back wheel around. And then the nice thing is it sets you up for the inside of the next turn. Because right now everyone on the left side is trying to fight for a position before the hairpin, and I don't have to worry about that now. Alright, last time moving up on the right side didn't work, so now I'm wondering if the left side's going to open up. And I see a window, and I start going for it. But then I see, looks like we got, I think it's Zach up there. And they've had a little bit of a split. I don't want to bring anyone else up there, so I just kind of go to the front and slow down a bit. Alright, and now that I'm in front of most of the field, then there's room on the right side of the course. And I move up to check out what's happening up front. Looks like we got a solo rider breaking away. But it looks like we got a teammate who's chasing it down. So I'm going to sit in and wait for them to get counterattacked. So lots of time when a break gets caught in a hard race, then that chasing group, they don't want to counter. They've just kind of spent too much energy chasing them back, and they don't have anything left to counter. And I'm counting on that right now, because I can't really see what's happening. I'm just assuming that they caught the front and have eased up. So I'm going to do my standard maneuver of keeping my speed up, passing on the right, and countering myself. Alright, this is a preem lap, and as we start the climb, this Taco Time rider does a really strong attack, much stronger than I was expecting, and he's got too much of a speed differential. There's no chance I'm going to be able to chase that back. Corey goes for it though. But since this is a preem, I also know that he's probably using up all of his energy just for that last 100 meters or so. So I bet you by the time he gets to the hairpin, he's just going to be exhausted. So there's no need for me to panic right now. Alright, we're coming up on the end of the race now. I'm not too worried about a break getting away. And now we're trying to figure out what our strategy is going to be for the finish. So I pull up along Randy and ask how he's feeling for a sprint finish.
Hey Randy, how you feeling for a sprint finish? Alright, good.
He says he's been resting. So now I know we got at least one person who's ready for the finish. Now Fount goes off on attack. I'm in a perfect spot just to sit on their wheel and follow it. Now we got ACTs joins us, and I check back and I see we got a little bit of a gap, and there's actually a chance that us three this late in the race could get away. But we get caught on the climb. Alright, we got 2 to go now, and this is a critical moment in the race. It can get really surgy, lots of attacks go, and it's real easy to find yourself out of position. And already I'm not really liking where I am. I'm too far back. If someone does an attack, 10 wheels in front, there's no way I could really follow it. So my goal is to get into good position at the start of the final lap. Alright. As I come to the front, I let Zach know the plan is to lead Randy out.
Hey, Zach. We're going to try to lead Randy out.
Alright, we got this solo rider up front, and I don't want to close this gap yet. I know as soon as I close it, someone's going to launch a counterattack that I'm going to have to respond to. And I don't really want to be chasing on the last lap. So I ease out the power and kind of let other people fill in. Alright, this is actually looking pretty good. There are fuel wheels back, so we should be able to see any attacks coming and have enough time to respond. And it's hard to look back right now. I know Randy's there. I'm hoping we got Zach, Ryder, or a few other teammates to help out. And unlike every other lap, as we get to the bottom of this hill, I'm not trying to surge in front. I do have a little too much speed, so I move over to the right just to bleed some of it off. But it's a little too early. I am expecting a few people to launch an attack right about here, and I want to follow that. I want to start that climb behind a few people. So there goes the attack. And then I see, though, we got two teammates who are in it. So it's like Zach and JD. And they actually had a pretty good position. So I didn't really feel it was worth it to try to chase them down and lead more people to them. Unfortunately, though, they don't get it. I think JD ends up getting 5th or 6th. Yeah, if I were to do things differently, I kind of wish I did start our lead out a little early, kind of right behind Zach. At the time I was too worried about chasing them down and causing people to counter around them, but honestly, I feel like if we had two lead outs going side by side, we probably would have had a better chance.